Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is the end of March, and this video I'm just going to show some of the things that I have planted the rest of this month and also give you a quick little garden tour. Guess what I'm doing? I am thinning the spinach and the lettuce. I said I was going to do better at it. It still sucks. Poor spinach. I made a mistake. Yesterday you saw that, I uprooted, they were California poppies, and I uprooted them. They came back this year. I didn't know they were perennial, and they didn't look very healthy, and I read it might have been because they needed full sun and the area where they were at wasn't getting enough sun. So I figured, oh well, I'm just going to transplant them somewhere else where there is more sun. So I moved them to my perennial bed behind me. Well, I did not know that California poppies have taproots. Taproots don't like to be disturbed and they don't transplant well. So I am not anticipating for my poppies to survive. But there you go. Now you know. Don't be like Kristen. I have been hardening off my seedlings for this past week, and I've decided I'm putting them in the ground. I'm done. Here's the start of our garden tour. This is my tree nursery propagation station happening here. As you can see, some of my little trees are starting to get little leaves on them. How cool. And like some raspberries that I propagated are starting to grow as well. I uppotted these two mulberry trees, and I got this fig. Hello, fig. That was citronella plants. I think they're dead. I learned that I also killed my lemon trees that I bought on discount last year, and I learned I'm not in the mood for taking things in and out whenever it's cold. So, lesson learned. This is my red potato bed, and as you can see, my potatoes are sprouting, and I have little sprouts in here where I planted, this one might have been, it was one of my herbs. I think this one was dill, I think. And then these are Yukon Gold potatoes. I didn't see any sprouts from, oh, there's one. For, this might have been parsley, maybe. Yeah. And then this one, more Yukon Gold, but I'm getting a lot more sprouts from the other one I planted, which, why am I having a hard time? I did dill, cilantro. No, it wasn't cilantro. Dill, parsley. I forget. Here are my blueberry patch, or is my blueberry patch. They are starting to get cute little blooms on them. I also planted some chive in the corners here. Over here in this bed, I just have some snow peas planted here. This bed, I planted some marigolds in the corners. I'm going to be planting tomatoes here. And then back here, I planted, I think, some more chives in the corners here. And I have a red cabbage right there in the middle. You can't really see it. It's blending in. These are my carrots. Nothing's happening yet. In this bed, I just planted some red cabbage along here, some Napa cabbage over here, and I planted, again, I'm having tomatoes along this trellis, so I did some marigold plants over here, some seeds. This bed is my broccoli, rutabaga, kohlrabi, radishes. Oh yeah. All these seeds, they're starting to sprout. What I'm really impressed about is, remember, I didn't I had all these extra broccoli and I didn't have space for up potting, so I planted them in the ground. They're not dead yet. They're still here hanging out. To be honest, they're still the same size as the broccoli I have inside my house. So I am impressed. We'll see if anything happens with it. Then over here in this bed, I have green cabbage along that back here. And I've got Napa cabbage here. And I think I planted over there in that corner some more marigold. This bed, we got a lot more snow peas. Here's my spinach. I have been, it probably doesn't look like it, but I have been thinning. I've learned that I just kind of come in here and I've learned that it's easier to thin if you just come out and pull, a few, every day. Then it doesn't get too overwhelming. Same thing here. This is my butter crunch lettuce, and I think that's some collard greens that have overwintered. I got sugar snap peas along this wall, and I planted beets, and I think I'm starting to get little sprouts of beets. In this bed, I have marigolds in the corners over here, and I have cilantro that has overwintered. It's very funny. Last year, I tried so hard to grow cilantro, could not do it. And I did have a plant here and it bolted really fast and went to seed. And look, it grew all on its own, no effort from me. This is the kind of gardening I like. And again, I planted over here in the corners some marigold. This is my future perennial bed. I have a couple things in here that are not perennials. But I have in the two back corners, I have rhubarb. And then along the sides, I did some columbine seeds, which I'm not really expecting to see anything, you know, on both sides. I did that. I have my poor little poppies that came back this year that I did not know how to taproot, and I tried replanting them. They're trying to hang on, but I don't have very high hopes. I had this broccoli and it like turned to flowers so fast, but look how pretty it is. I mean, I really like these flowers, and I'm gonna try saving seed from broccoli. Never done that before. We'll see how that works. And then this little cabbage, I mean, it's starting to form a tiny little head in there. It's all curling in, but I'm not anticipating much. And then in the back, I have 1, 2, 3 artichoke plants. Now the last thing I need to do with this perennial bed is I'm going to be getting rid of this and that. And I'm planting asparagus. I have like 8 crowns of asparagus I'm going to be planting in here. So that's my perennial vegetable bed. And it's funny, for the life of me, I could not grow a beet last year. And I planted beets in this bed last fall and nothing happened. And look, over winter, I've got some beets. I've never had a beet, and I wanted to grow beet to see if I liked it, to see if I want to grow them or not. And look, I'm a fan of things just popping up without any work for me. This was like my garlic and onion bed, and my garlic, I mean, it's here. I'm not thinking it's looking as healthy as it did last year for me whenever I had it in that other spot. Yeah. And in here I had a whole bunch of different onion seeds, and I tried as an experiment. Someone said whenever you plant onion seeds, it'll grow through the winter, come out spring. Well, nothing has popped up yet for any of the onions. And leeks, those were like 8-year-old seeds, so I wasn't expecting nothing. So I actually just went ahead and planted more leek seeds to hopefully harvest leeks this fall. Here's my perennial fruit bed that I have. All my thyme is starting to come back, and look, they're getting cute little flowers on them. I had no idea that these raspberry plants were going to multiply this fast and this many. Yeah, I mean, it is. Look at all that. This raspberry, it's all coming out of my bed. So what I'm planning on doing, I want it all to grow in that middle area. So I am planning on probably uprooting some of these, shifting them to the center, because I also have strawberries in here. Look I got strawberries, and I don't, I want to have strawberries too, not just raspberries. So, and then over here in this corner, look, I got cute little chives, and oh, look at this. They're starting to get like little like chive bulb things. They're so cute. And here is my second perennial fruit bed, but this is more like fruit and herbs. I have blackberries, and all my blackberries are starting to pop. And I have 3 blackberry bushes. 1, 2, 3. They are not multiplying as much as the raspberries. And I've heard, my raspberries have thorns, and these are thornless. I heard that the thornless fruits are not as aggressive as others, so maybe that's why. But look, I got rosemary that popped up. Those are carnation plants that have popped up. I planted by seed last year. I have sage over there in that corner. My oregano is looking pretty nice. More oregano. I have onion that has popped up here. And more oregano. I have thyme that is out of the bed, and I'm gonna move this and put it in a bed somewhere. And look, another little, another little keep time. And some more rosemary here, carnations, and more chives over there, and more oregano. I got free oregano plants last year. That's why I have so many oregano. But yeah, it looks nice. And this is my failed, I planted tons of like perennial like flowers and things here. And all of my soil came and washed out and buried everything over here. But I don't know how, but these are lupine, and all of my lupine have survived. And look, I didn't even plant lupine up here, and here it is. So that's the only thing that I can tell. I don't know what some of these are, if these are all weeds or if they're something I planted or not. We'll let them get a little bit bigger and try and figure out what they are. So that's a wrap on this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. My little garden tour. Things are starting to pop, starting to sprout. It's all exciting, and I am just hoping that it's just going to continue to get better and better with each month. I guess some reflections in March as far as for gardening. I am just not a fan of seed starting and the hardening off, and it just seems way more complicated than I want. So, but again, I'm still new and still learning, so maybe it'll get easier, you know, as it goes on. But also, I'm thinking about doing winter sowing next year. I hear you just like, you know, take some gallon jugs and put some soil in there, plant some seeds, seal it up, and leave it in your yard over winter, and things will just grow and you don't have to harden them off. I might be trying that next year. But yeah, other than that, we're doing good. I feel like I'm still ahead of the game, not really behind, just frustrated with the whole seed starting thing again, but it's more successful than I was last year, so I will take it. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.